All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Four Dads podcast with your host, Don Julio, and myself, Teeds. I do apologize for last week. I totally forgot, honestly, to do a podcast. Don Julio and I got a round in on Memorial Day weekend, that Monday, and I was just so exhausted. I had so much going on. Kids were not sleeping. It was brutal, a lot on the work. And I totally even just forgot to text you about it. So I apologize.
No worries.
I was really blessed that Julio was able to come on out that morning to drive out and then head on back home after the round and had a good time. We actually just released the T-flip challenge video, which was the front nine. And honestly, that was a lot of fun. I
It
expected
was.
to have fun, but man, did it give a lot of anxiety, man. I was like, oh my gosh, like you have to have two good shots. It's not just like a scramble where you have your one good one, and you're like, okay, we're good. It's like, oh, you better hit a good shot or we flip it on you, dude. Like, oh, what was
Yeah.
your experience? How'd you like it? Like, it
It
was fun.
was
It was
it
a good time.
was it was fun. It was fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't expect myself to be such a good T flipper, but
Dude, you were the
uh
T flip champion of the world, man. Oh man, especially
but
oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
but I was gonna say just like on I mean number nine kind of
Mhm.
puts it into perspective for everyone. It's like, oh my God, we hit like, I you hit a great drive.
Mhm.
I hit an unbelievable drive
Yeah, you hit
to
a
have a
great drive
hundred
with an
and
amazing bounce, like with the
yeah.
best members bounce you've ever seen in your life. Like
Yeah, I mean, to have 130 yards in or have
230, 240
225
or
or
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it was like I mean, you hit a great was that your 7 wood or 5 wood?
Yeah. 7 wood, 7 wood.
Yeah, you hit a great 7 wood, it just didn't turn over, and then I hit
Mhm.
a freaking awesome 5 iron to
Yep.
stick it to the back, and it was like, "Oh god, what are we gonna do?" And it lands on you, and then, dude, the part where you added, like, the whole clip of of Carmel Valley Ranch, it was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I had so many of those. I mean, even my shot where yours got onto the green and we had like what it would have been like a 6 foot putt coming down the hill,
Yeah.
right, for a birdie.
Mhm.
And I mean, just that alone just puts into reality the anxiety of what that game brings.
Dude.
I mean, if
Yes.
we had to take your shot where you topped it like
Oh
into
my
the
gosh.
hillside,
On
it
7.
was
Yep.
like,
I remember that. Yep.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. No, not even
Uh,
7 on number 3 or
oh, okay.
yeah,
So
number
it happened
3.
twice. It
Yeah.
happened twice.
Yeah,
3
on
and
3.
7.
On 3. On 3, and then it was like, I mean, dude, it was just fun just to, like, see, like, "Oh, man, we" like, it lands on me on number 2, and it's like, "Oh, wow, what a chip and par." Like, that just said it,
Dude,
you know?
the like, that just started a whole thing, like, that was wild because I hit my shot, I pushed it to the right on that par 3. I didn't even see it because I'm trying to, like, record at the same time, and you're like, "Oh, it went in the water. We have to take your shot." We go up there, and you just chip it in for par, and I'm like, "Well, that's how you do it. Okay, cool." The whole that,
Yeah.
like, saved us. Like, there were so many of those that excuse me, like you said, nine's perfect because, like you said, the first tee shot, both were in the fairway, but one, like you said, wedge, 7 wood, 100, 120-yard difference on a par 5. So you had how often do you have 130 going into a par 5, whether it's a scramble or not? It's just like not, unless like you're playing the
Well,
front tees.
for me,
Oh, stop. Yeah, right.
it's
How often do you aim for those cart paths and you hit it? Okay. But like,
not very often.
but like you, But like you have that, and then you have my shot that we played both of my shots. Yours obviously would have been more ideal to set both of them, obviously. But the second one, which would have been an eagle chip or a long putt, depending on what you're feeling, would have at least given us an inside opportunity, not an outside chance of like a birdie. And then I
Mhm.
was actually really impressed with my chip. That third shot underneath the trees, I was like, holy crap, dude, like that's awesome. Let's go. I'm like, if I can do it, I know Julio's gonna at least get us somewhere on the
Nope.
green. And then he puts us right on the hill, and I'm like, no. And then I'm like, don't worry,
Yeah.
we've been great with our T flips. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And then you get it within like what, 4 feet or 3-4 feet, maybe less than
Yeah.
that. And then I flub the chip and it runs down there. Like, come on, dude, you got to be serious right now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but the luck went our way on that next flip. But man, that was
Yeah.
fun. That was a good time for sure. Oh,
Yeah, and then just some of the putts too. The putts were great. Had a couple big bombs. that
Dude,
fell.
you did. 6 was huge. You had, I think you got the birdie for the first birdie,
for the par
the
5.
second birdie. You got both birdie. You got
Yeah,
both. I mean, your putting was clutch except for hole 3. When I had that,
yeah,
it was like
that
a
one sucked.
50-foot putt, 45, 50 foot uphill.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I put it within like 2 feet and we get my flip. But I was like, Julio, it's a hill. No. It rolled all the way back down.
the thing was, is I felt like I honestly felt like I hit it really hard, and then
Yeah.
it just
Dude,
died.
there's some slopes there, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's wild. But
that is a very fun course. Like, I don't know. I mean, so um, there's a chance I may be coming down to Fresno a little bit more often.
okay.
Some things have changed with my parents, so they're probably gonna potentially go back home. So,
Oh,
just to have the grandkids spend time with grandpa and grandma,
makes it
we
easier
may
too
be
to get
going
out
down
as
there.
well. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, then
Yeah.
that, and then it's like we stay there for the whole weekend, not just,
One
hey,
day.
man, we're gonna stay there. And all of a sudden, all right, bye. Like, what are you doing? So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, man, I had a lot of fun. And it's so funny too, because like today's the 5th. So today was when we played over at Dragonfly, or actually when we released the video of us playing at Dragonfly for the scramble. Yeah, the scramble and then the match play.
Was it the first time that we did it? Like a few years ago,
Yeah,
right? Oh
yeah.
man. Dude,
I
those
know, but
videos are terrible
but
now.
you're
Just
right
looking at we had
though.
a GoPro and like
Oh yeah, still fun though.
oh
I
yeah, great
like, dude.
times.
I have the really good camera with a Rogue mic on it, or
Yeah, road.
Rode,
Mhm.
yeah, Rode mic, and then I have the gimbal, right, the stabilizer piece too. But it's like I need to get 2 extra batteries for that camera. I
Mhm.
need to
Mhm.
also go buy some new discs to put in there, or
Oh, memory
what do
cards?
you call them? Yeah, the memory cards in there,
Yeah.
because it's
Mhm.
like I just feel like, even though I feel like my GoPro does pretty well, and mic wise, it's pretty good with the media pack on it. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, the camera would be that much better,
Right.
honestly.
Of course, of course. And we have a match play video that'll probably be coming out maybe next week. Depends on my schedule. I mean, dude, it was so hard to put this thing together with the timing that I had. Like, it didn't take much time. I've kind of figured it out. And honestly, I've been watching a lot of videos. A lot of these camera guys are coming out with how to edit these videos. Like Grant's dude, GM
I
Golf.
saw that.
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
this, and I reached out to him and I'm like, dude, okay, for this and that, how do you do this or what do you do that? And he watched, I think I had him watch one of our previous videos, well, not our video, but Fore Dad's video, where I was playing with my neighbor, and he was just giving me a few extra pointers, like, hey, this looks good, but if you want to do this, you might recommend doing that. And to the most part, there are a few things that I picked up that made it a little bit easier, but for the most part, I kind of do everything very similar. It's just kind of tedious. You got to put all the shot
Yeah.
tracers on. It takes time. You got to make sure those are all good to go, and then line everything up. And I'm telling you, like on the match play video that'll come up, we actually have microphones, which will be really nice because the audio is good, but not amazing because we're not always right next to the camera. So you have someone that's far away, someone that's closer, and you got to try to match that. And it's not easy, especially with someone like me who's a novice, technically, with trying to figure this stuff out. But that'll be a fun video because that was a roller coaster of a match, dude. That thing just like I'm up,
Just the
you're up,
first
like
hole. Just the first hole alone. Just the first hole alone is gonna be like, what
stay tuned,
is
man.
going on?
Right,
No,
right.
but to your point of the editing, so we we may have a new sponsor in the short term here, so we may not even have to use StreamYard anymore. My friend who has watched our stuff for a while, he's a tech guy, built his own content creating application with also a AI video editor. So you can upload your videos and it will do everything for you so you can get videos out faster.
What?
I'm not going to drop the name yet
Yeah.
until everything is concrete, but I told him, I said, hey man, I would love, an opportunity to
Hmm.
support you and see if we can do a video. But it's like, it has all of the cool pieces where, just like how you're seeing here with like, the Four Dads
Mhm.
framework. We can change that out. We can do different layouts to where it's like if we wanted to in real time upload the video and like talk about like a walkthrough of like what was
Mm,
going on here, it will adjust the grid, right? And
mm.
then in real
That's so
time, so that
sick.
way we can show it. If we want to do like a media thing, talk about other people's videos. So if we wanted to review the duels and just be like, oh my god, like can you watch, like can you do this?
That'd be dope.
And it's great for gamers as well too, because it's a lot easier to have multi streams going. So you
Mm,
can have your actual gameplay with you in real time, with the chat boards and moderation, and then also have the ability to do the RTMP to other social platforms.
that's dope.
So it's really cool. I already tested it out, just kind of going on there and talking with him, and it's like super clean. But the video editor was like, I was like, I was like, dude, I hope you patent this. Like, this is one of a kind. This is really good.
That's
So
sick.
yeah,
Well,
excited for that.
I'm really looking forward to that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Um, but you just mentioned Live Duels, and they just technically filmed them and Live Virginia, and this whole thing's been going down. I just watched a little. I don't know if they could consider. I think they're podcasts like Mr. Short Game.
Mhm.
And he was mentioning that I forget who mentioned it. Whether it was Live, I think it was the Live Golf League. If they shot it on the 5th or the 4th on on a Tuesday, maybe a few days ago, the 3rd.
Are you
They
talking
said
about
they're
Mr. Short Games
Mr.
podcast?
Short Game.
Dude, you're
Yeah, Mr.
talking.
Short Game. Yeah,
Yeah.
not Short Game King. Different guy.
Okay.
Different guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna
Um,
say, wait, I don't think it's the same person.
yeah, no, totally different guy. But he's a lot of talking about YouTube golf and just golf in general. And he was talking about how uh, it's not going to get released till the 23rd. You know, with these live duels in the past, which there's only been one, it took like a week or two, I don't maybe or so, for them to put it on Grant's channel, from the upload it. They had an issue; they had to push it back a full day because of the editing or uploading process. And he was just mentioning the fact that the 23rd, like they have like Live Dallas on like the 27th. Like people are already gonna forget about Live Virginia and the duels and everything. So they better blow this out of the water with the editing process. And not only that, but one of the big questions he had a few days ago, I think it was yesterday actually, was then like, did Grant play in the Live duels? Because he was in the picture, but he's saying that he's playing in this tournament, this Corn Ferry tournament today. Like, how is that possible? How is he able to do both? And I reached out to our source, who I literally have no idea who he is. So if you're watching the YouTube channel or podcast, awesome. But don't know who they are. They've been right about every single thing so far about the live duels. It's been wild. Like you can check our timestamps on our tweets. Like, hey, we're told this. Boom, within a couple hours, it's exactly they say exactly what they're going to say. Um, and I asked him like, hey, did Grant play or what? Because I thought he was going to play in a Corn Ferry tournament this weekend. And he's like, nope, Grant was there today. He recorded, he filmed, and apparently Grant recorded live duels, flew private jet red eye to this Corn Ferry event and played today. And it was like killing it. He was like 600 through like 9 holes or something. He was absolutely on fire. So
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be
wild.
surprised, man. And I think also the biggest reason why they're probably pushing it out is because if being that Grant played really well, right, there's an opportunity for him to get an exemption for the PGA, right?
That'd be
So,
insane.
I
I don't know.
mean,
Is
I
there a possibility?
I don't know. I mean,
You
I
mean
would
like
assume, right, if it's a
as like
core.
a test kind of thing? Hey, try this out. I don't know. I don't know if it's an individual event though. I think it's some kind of like like a what do you call it? What's the tournament that they
Oh,
play in New Orleans where they have like a partner?
oh, like a yeah, a two man
Something
like yeah.
something like that.
Well, I don't
So
know. I don't know. I mean, it could be a start of something that the PGA is trying to roll out. But again, like with Grant kind of juggling both live, and PGA events
where is he
now,
gonna go? Where is he gonna
I
end
don't
up,
think
dude?
it's not where he's going to end up. He's going to end up wherever they tell him to be, right? And whichever one pays him best.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
or continues to give him the best exposure. But I think he's trying to be careful because if he's supposed to do this PGA event, they could suspend his entire presence around it, just like they did Wesley,
Right.
right?
Right.
um, and so that could be it. Maybe maybe there's just a conflict. I don't know. But I mean, I've seen the lineup for the duels, um, for the second episode. I mean, they have Evan Thompson in there, who really
Oh,
really
is
good
he the
player.
guy that they were talking about? That
Yeah,
was the new guy. Okay.
dual sport,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
player. He was
They
like
got
a
Taco
All
Golf. They got some
American.
of the
Yeah,
Australian, New Zealand golfers there
yeah.
as well with Luke Juan. Yeah.
So, but I've been following Evan for a long time. Like
Oh, really?
I really like his story. I mean, him being like a superstar football player. I think he was a linebacker.
Yeah. And then he
To then
played
switching
golf.
over,
Yeah.
yeah, to then switching over to golf, and it's like the dude's an absolute monster. Like he rips the ball. His swing looks
Yes.
completely unorthodox, but I mean, he squares it up and plays it, and I mean, it's really impressive to watch. And I mean, dude, he's a guy who took his handicap from like a 7 to a +4 to then go and compete and win 2 rounds of the USGA qualifiers for
I know.
local,
What do they
like
call it? The
mid,
medalist? Like he won like the
yeah.
top score. And I watched that
So
video.
this,
Like I've been watching him too. Like
yeah,
he's been killing it,
66,
dude. Yeah.
yeah. And then
In
what
the rain.
happens? Like
In the
he
rain.
in the rain, exactly. And then what was his last one? Then like
And then he came in
obviously
dead
he just,
last. Yeah.
yeah, or close to it. I mean, there was like he was 18. I mean, he was pretty transparent about it. Like he was 18 strokes away from being at the US Open. Like
Right. I
it's
mean,
that
what yeah.
much of a
That's what's
difference,
crazy about golf.
you
Right.
know?
Right. Yeah.
And so, he was talking about it, but it's like, dude, it just opened up a whole, I think everything that he's done has just opened up a whole new world of opportunity. I mean, even like Roger Steele was there at that same qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a few other, who was the other player?
You mean
The
at
guy
the
who,
the first one or like the
no,
longest day in
the
golf?
third, yeah, the
Like the
longest day in
final day?
golf. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Roger Steele was there, and then the Paz, was it the
Pause
Paz
King.
King?
Yep. Ben
Think
Crouper.
he was there too.
Mm.
Yeah, but dude, how crazy is that some like 16 or 17-year-old kid wins it, or wins the whole thing
Two
with
9 unders. Are
60,
you
yeah,
kidding me?
63.
Yeah, and I saw this
Unreal.
person on Twitter like, well, it's an easy track, you know. I can't believe they're still doing that. I'm like, first off, the dude's 17. Second, the dude's 17. Third, the dude's 17. And the fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
even if you play an easy course, like 9 times out of 10, you're still not going to shoot a 9 under. It's still
Hmm.
really, really hard. And you're not going to do it
Yep.
back to back rounds with pressure situation. Like there's pressure on it. There's so many other things that go into it. No matter how easy the course is, just like when people say, hey, it's so easy to shoot under par when you're playing from the front tees. It's like, no, it's not. You still got to have a good short game. You don't have a good short game, you're not doing crap. It's not as
Yep.
easy as you think. You still got to have the golf game to go with it. Like just means that you don't have to use as much club. And I was super impressed. Like I feel really bad for a lot of these people that are like, especially now you have like the Brian Bros, you had Evan Thompson, all these like people, I think like you just mentioned, Ben Crouper as well, Pause King, and they're all just like, and a lot of good guys, I think. I'm forgetting the guy's name off the top of my head. He's a thin dude. He's like a new guy from Good. But
Oh,
he's on the west side.
Sam. Yeah, it's Sam.
Is it
He
Sam?
played at Georgia. He
No,
played at
not him.
Georgia or something like that.
I don't think so. No. This guy played at like Gonzaga or something. He's from like
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Gonzaga, there you go.
but anyway, yeah, Bulldogs, yeah. But like they all made it to the next round, and then it's like, oh, but you got to beat Cam Young. Oh, but you got to beat Max Homa. Oh, but you got to beat like Ricky Fowler. You got to beat Sergio Garcia. Like all these pros, like it's like good luck with that. A lot of these open qualifier spots are being taken by these pros, where it's all fun and games till you get there, and it's just like, well, these guys, like if you can beat them, obviously golf is like if you don't have it that day, like that's tough because you really only get like one day, to really make this count. And I mean,
Yeah.
did you catch up with I think it was the Ricky Fowler, wherever he played, it was like him, it was like Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, Cam Young. There's like 5 people that were like
Yeah.
going into a playoff. It was wild.
Yeah,
Really
it was all
entertaining.
like PGA. It was all
Yeah.
PGA players, and then
Mm-hmm.
Cam Young sinks like that 6-foot birdie to basically
Yep.
solidify the very last spot. But
Exactly.
I mean, the big talk about the longest day was Max Homa carrying his own bag.
His own bag. Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, people were just kind of like, here's a guy who some announcer said it. They I saw it on ESPN and on Disney Plus, and he's like, take a look at this. Here's a guy who is not playing for his life,
Mhm.
but just a guy who's out here grinding, who makes millions of dollars, and he's trekking the day, right?
Mhm.
And he said something like he's walking with a purpose, and it was like, I think Max Homa just has something to prove to himself. Like
And if
it's,
he didn't, I think what he three putted 18 or something. If he would have just two putted, he would have went in, walked himself right into
yep,
the U.S. Open, which
yep,
is wild. Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah. It
mean,
was,
there are a lot of good stories. A lot of good stories that made it. I think there was what, like a dentist or something that they're talking about. This
yeah,
dentist that
dentist that,
apparently,
um, and then even the kid or the guy
you hear about the UPS driver,
James Nicholas or something like that.
James Nicklaus. Go on. No.
Yeah, he's big on social media, but he's gotten a few opportunities, and there was one where someone withdrew from the tournament.
Oh, no
Um,
way. And he got in because of it.
someone with well, he got in because he was like right there at the cut, and
Oh,
he
no
that
way.
person beat that person beat him to get in, so he was
Mm.
next in line. But he was taught like he literally walked onto the property like 10 minutes before his tee
Is
time. And check this out. They lost his clubs, or I'm sorry, he didn't have enough time to grab his clubs from the bag drop, so he just took off, and then the head pro came out and like said, here are my clubs, like it's the same thing you play, but like let me just see if I have an extra stiff shaft to switch it out for you on the driver. And like
jeez.
that was it. And then they gave him clothes, they gave him like a bag of balls, like all this stuff like in the coat or in the pro's bag. Um and he just went off and he fired off like a seven, like a no, he fired off like a 68. It was like
Well,
unbelievable. No
so
swings, nothing. Fresh out the
that's
car.
wild. That's gonna be so tough, dude. I mean, quickly pivoting off that really quickly, just because of the whole story that you just said. Did you hear about the U? So I don't want to jump too much into the U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills, but there was a similar situation. A one of the women that was playing in the tournament, she was with her boyfriend or husband, not sure which, um, at an Airbnb, and someone tried to break in around like 4 a.m. And so they went to a hotel. They left. They're like, screw this. We're going to a hotel. They left to a hotel, got to a hotel, and the boyfriend or husband was leaving that day for whatever reason. I'm like, why don't you just stay? It's the weekend. Why are you not staying? You're already here. Like, why are you not just staying the whole weekend? He flies back home with what he thinks is his bag, ends up taking her clubs and her outfit, all the outfit for the whole weekend and everything. So that day, she's playing another women's clubs who finished her round before her with some other clothes, extra clothes from other players. And it was just like kind of cool to see like the whole like kind of community just like get together and just like help her out in that situation. But like, I guess that same day, her mom was flying right back out to bring those clothes for the next day. But it's just like, dude,
Mhm.
like the odds, like how do you
What was her
mistake
name?
your,
Amari.
was it? It might have been. I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, potentially. Right.
She was on the show, The Short Game.
Oh, was she?
On Yeah, she was one of the top girls. Oh, here you go. Amari Avery. They call her Tigress. So Tiger.
Hmm.
So she has the same birthday as Tiger Woods,
Oh,
and
wow.
in The Short Game on Netflix about the little kids for the U.S. Open or the U.S. Kids tournament at Pinehurst. She's like one of the top ranked players, and
Wait,
so
was that the one that had like the
um,
Alan Kournikova or whatever? That
yeah,
one?
yeah,
No
yeah.
way. I
So
remember that was such a good.
yeah, so she's the girl who's from like South or like Compton, right? And the dad talks about, the struggles of being like not the highest earner, what goes into golf. He
Mhm.
really refers a lot to Tiger Woods' dad, Eldrick, Eldrick, and how, like, how do you do it, right? And that they got a lot of fire from that show because of how frustrated the dad would get when Avery wouldn't do well, right? And I mean, people were making all kinds of different channels talking about like someone should call CPA on that dad, like you know, I mean, dude, he would get like fired up, and they both would. It's just a competitive edge of it.
Right,
But
right, right,
you
right, right.
you know, like she used to have like a temper and would like start crying if things didn't go right. The dad would literally yell at her, and I mean, it till this day, people still talk about that of parenting with kids who are playing at high level sports and how it's like that is not how you should be. But it's like, look at her, dude. Like she deals with all the adversity of even that, and she still goes out and plays with rental clubs and fires off a freaking great round.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just some kids are just
Built
different, right?
different, dude. Yeah.
And built different, but also I think just her environment in which she grew up in was very different to compared to a lot a lot of people in golf, right? When you talk
Right.
about having the country club to go to, having the access of tools to constantly switch out your stuff, not worrying about the cost of it, right?
Mhm.
You can go out there and freely do it.
Yep.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, dude, she is an amazing player. I remember following her through college, and she's really good when she was at USC.
Yeah. That's sick. Well,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, going like I just want to mention that just because I thought it was a crazy story. Like that rarely happens. Like, how do you misplace a bag that like okay, yeah, my and even if you did, why would you be carrying your bag almost the exact same size as her golf bag? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
you had one job. But yeah, I mean, in general, I think the long stay in golf is pretty cool. I'll never be able to get into it just because I'm not good, don't have the time, and I'm getting older. So I think also to qualify to at least have the opportunity to play in one of those tournaments, don't you have to have like a one handicap minimum? USGA or no?
yeah you do. But it's
A
like
gen.
I mean, I mean it's three before even getting to that day. It is two grueling tournaments that you have to place.
No, I mean not that day, but I mean getting just the opportunity to qualify for those is what I'm saying. You still have to have like a low
Oh yeah,
handicap, right?
yeah,
In order,
yeah,
you can't just be like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm an 18." And I'm just like, well, I think
yeah.
actually,
and-
no. I remember hearing actually one of the what was it? The fantasy football. What do they call it when like your last place? Like one of the punishments was like if you're last place, you have to play in the local qualifier. And this dude
oh,
was like, the caddy's like, sorry, dude. He was last place in our fantasy football. He's he just
that's
thinks
funny.
so bad. I mean, oh, dude. But yeah. Did you catch any?
Oh, Sean. His name's Sean. The new guy from Good Good. Sean.
Oh, yes, Sean. That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sean
Go
Sean
ahead.
Walsh, I think. Um,
There you go.
yeah, he was killing it too. He said he was like freezing, but he was killing it. Did
Yeah.
you watch or catch any of the Memorial this weekend?
I caught some small pieces of it. I had my own tournament that I was playing in this weekend. But I caught some small pieces of it. I saw that Scotty just I just saw Scotty was just locked in on on Sunday. I mean, just didn't give an inch. I mean, the guy just was saving pars, making birdies when he needed to, you
Yep.
know, having his forearm smell like poo because Bennett had a blowout. Like,
Yeah, I had a solid tweet. I was kind of bummed on not didn't catch too much attention, but I'm like two blowouts on that day, man. His son and Scotty on the course, and his son off the
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Man,
exactly.
I've been there,
Probably
dude.
would have been
Nothing's
better if you
worse.
said in the rest of the field. The
Right?
rest of the field shit the
Well,
bed.
dude. Okay. Did you hear what Jack said after the tournament? Did you catch that, dude? Jack was catching
Jack who?
strays of. Okay, so I don't know word for word. It's not. I'm not gonna say it, but he was talking among the lines of like, well, Scotty was just like, dominating the field, like he normally does. But when you have, Ben Griffin, like he's a nice player.
Oh yeah,
You have
yeah.
Sepp Straka, who's a nice player. Kind of just saying like basically like they're not like Roy McIlroy, they're not John Rahm, they're not
They're
Bryson
not.
DeChambeau, which they've
Yeah,
had in the past that have been there. And he's saying the quiet part out loud, where it's like, bro, we kind of need these guys back here, like because the field isn't as strong for Scotty. And I was
hmm
like, dang, dude, like you could tell he
it's
was trying to be
true.
nice, but it didn't know. Yeah, of course it's true. But I mean, like, yeah, it's still not. Doesn't feel
I
good
mean,
to catch a stray. Ben Griffin's over here just straight sipping a beer, going like, "What the heck did I do? Why are you saying f me?"
well, I mean, dude, you got to think like, I mean, his entire generation kind of shaped what we got to experience with Tiger. You know, I mean, that awoke one of the greatest players in history that we will ever watch, and I don't think we'll ever see it again at that level of competition,
Right.
right? I mean, it comes down to I mean, dude, it's like the conversation of who's the GOAT, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, right? I
Mhm.
mean, you could say the same numbers wise, like yes, Jack has the numbers,
Yeah.
but when you look at just the pure dominance and athleticism and just the consistent, like, just outpowering and
Oh
outperforming
yeah,
an
hitting
entire
clubs
field.
that people were like, "There's no way you can hit." He's going a pitching wedge from 185 in the rough. There's no way you
Dude,
can hit that there, and it's like,
that 7
what,
iron at Pebble Beach for the US Open where
dude?
he hits a 7 iron from
Yeah, was
212
it
up
the
the
one that went
hill
up in the par
out of the
five?
rough.
Yeah,
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 yeah. It's like who and with that technology too,
yeah,
and I mean, again, it's like he was right on the cusp of like what we're experiencing right now
mhm,
as players
yeah.
to kind of what Jack had to play, where you had a dime size sweet
Sweet
spot,
spot. Yeah. Hmm.
you know. And I mean, I think Jack has all the right to say that because we everybody who watches golf, if it's just the weekend warrior or the advanced amateur or even the the local pro,
Hmm.
everyone is witnessing it and it's not the same, dude. Like I
Yeah, we're
texted
all
you
thinking it.
immediately after Scotty won and was
Mhm.
like, this is kind of getting boring now, dude. Like
Yeah,
I mean, he's winning not playing the best golf, right?
yeah,
And you
mhm,
know names like Straka and like Griffin up there
yeah,
who are like, cool, you had one great weekend. Like we'll never see
mhm,
you again. Look at Sahith Tagala. Like
yeah,
what a buck
yeah.
he's turning out to be.
Right. I mean, like
This
I saw. No, I agree. I was seeing on Twitter, people were like, "Well, people were saying that Tiger was dominating. Well, he had a weak field, just like Scotty Scheffler has a weak field." And I'm like, "Okay, well, you can say that about really anyone. Like, you go back to the '60s and '70s, Jack had a very weak field, if you think about it. The amount of people that were playing golf, the golf was not as popular, as it is today. With the amount of people that are playing, for how long that they're playing, it just wasn't the same. And Jack was so dominant he might only had a few people, right? Gary Player, you had Arnold Palmer, you might have Ben Hogan, uh, and a few other guys, Lee, was it?
Oh, Lee Trevino and
Lee Trevino was one, and then Seve Ballesteros probably. But like, there's like a handful of guys, right, that had a chance to compete with him, major in and major
mhm,
out. Tiger Woods, he came in, and yeah, the competition was not as good, but it's also because it still wasn't as popular. He was mainly like, not trying to say this like bad. It felt like it was more like a white man's game. Like he was the only like
yeah.
black dude there, and he just dominated them, just embarrassed them, and grew the game so much that he made kids now that you're seeing from the '90s that saw Tiger. Now that either they're in the pros now, whether it's Scotty Scheffler and younger, so I'm trying or older. Who
Nice
else?
Homa.
Yeah, well, like you got the homeless, but I mean like John
Mirakawa.
Rahm, like all those other people, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and all those guys.
Mhm.
They are like around our age that watched Tiger's dominance and probably got into it, into that,
Purely
and
because of that.
exactly,
Yeah.
and you're making more people interested in the game, which it takes time. Even if like Tiger, when he blew it up, it wasn't going to say like in a year or two, there's going to be a lot better golfers. You had to wait for that next generation of golfers to come through and then see how they are compared to everybody else.
And here's sorry, go ahead, finish your point. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's pretty much where I was ending it. Yeah, there you go.
I was just gonna say, here's something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. He redefined the way that golf club manufacturers made clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point to where it was like, okay, maybe we need to create something a little bit different, right? Like, I mean, look at all the different variations of heads that he played from like the Titleist 912 or not even the 912, the 907, right? What was it? 430 driver head, right? Like
Oh, the CC. Yeah, yeah.
then yeah, then you have the Sasquatch that came out. Then you had the
Yeah.
covert um with the cavity back to make it more forgiving, right? It's just like all these different things. And it was like everyone was trying to figure out how to maximize distance at that time because Tiger
Doing it
was
with like the
hitting the
old
ball.
clubs.
Yeah, he was hitting the ball freaking two clubs less than the next guy
Hmm.
because he was just so strong. And they're like, well, if he can do that with that, like, what if we redefined it? What if we did,
Hmm.
hot lead inside of the faces to create more spring? We do, injections or whatever it is to do that.
Right.
Um, but also, I think the clothing status. The
Oh
clothing
yeah,
status just blew
dude.
up back. I mean, dude, if I see somebody wearing like Schlesinger, freaking shirts
Nerd.
or yeah,
Loser.
it was like there was only like 3 brands that were cool to wear at that time, which was everything Nike,
Yep.
right?
Tiger Woods.
With
Tiger
the
Woods
with the
Nike.
with the TW,
Yep. I had three TW
Cobra,
hats, dude. I had the white, the gray, the
yeah,
black. Yeah, loved them.
Cobra with Ricky Fowler,
Yep,
and
bright
then of
orange.
course FootJoy with the striped shirts
Yep.
were the next one. Oh, hi, love. How can I help you? Oh, yeah, my wife's asking me, am I going to beat tonight's dessert or what? She's all looking at me. But anyways,
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm
The
just saying
fashion changed because the fashion was
for
so
sure.
that was half of the battle, at least for me, where it's just
Mhm,
like, there's nothing that I can wear that I relate to, you know?
mhm,
I played basketball as a kid, when I think I got into golf probably like 3rd or 4th no, 2005. Tiger Woods 2005. Whatever game 2005 was 13 for me. So 7th, 8th grade. Yeah.
mhm.
About 7th, 8th grade. I'm like, all black golf shoes or like the crappy looking FootJoy, striped ones. Like they just look
The
so bad.
contours.
Yeah, well, they look how they redefined them now looks amazing, but like back then,
Yeah,
it just did not go, and you just looked like a square. You just did not look like fly. You didn't look athletic. But when Tiger got that Nike contract, he was coming out with trainers that had golf cleats on them that like no one had ever seen before, and they looked
mhm.
fresh. It looked like he was like, is he going to go work out or is he going to like a nice event? Like what? Like doesn't look like he's playing golf, because he looks really good,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
mean,
and
speaking of,
now,
like, that's
oh,
like what he's doing with Sunday Swagger now, dude, or
well,
Sunday
he's trying.
Sunday
I mean,
Red.
he's definitely got the price points wrong. My goodness, dude.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think he's trying to put his stamp
Oh yeah,
on it,
100%.
much like with what Malbon's doing, right? I mean,
Oh
Jimmy
my
Choo
gosh, yeah.
collaboration, crazy. But I'm just saying that it's like now if you look at the brands he's working with, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, he's over here advertising tank tops at like $75. It's unreal, dude. I'm just like, and there's people who are buying it. Like my
That's the
tournament I
problem.
just played in this last weekend, like this weekend, we played one day at 7 in the morning. This guy decided to wear his like, I don't even know what it is. It's like Lululemon, you know, fabric Sunday Swagger jacket or hoodie, right? And it's white, has the red tiger on it, right? All this stuff. And I'm like, you had to crack that out today of all days at the local Muni tournament. He's like, he's like, dude, it's gonna start getting hot, and I didn't wear it when it was cold.
I get
And I
it.
was like, okay. I was like, well, it's nice to see that you have it. Like you'll take it off in 3 swings, you know.
And let's see how you
But he
shoot.
also
You better shoot 200 with that thing on, or you're gonna.
no, he didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
know, I know.
I mean, but still, and then he had the shoes. I mean, dude, there was even a guy who I played with on Sunday who's from San Francisco he had the Sunday red um Cypress shoes,
Oof. Yep.
the
Yep.
the the first edition ones that came out, right? The ones that everyone was like, "Oh my god, those ones have the different colorway or the
Yeah.
special print on them or whatever." And I looked at his shoes and I was just like, "You play in those?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Dude, you're sitting on like $2,000 pair of shoes if you would have resold them." He's like, "They're so comfortable though." And I'm like, "Hey, way to put your money to work. Like, there you go." And then he has like on an old 2007 like TW shirt with the TW pants. And I was like, "Where the fuck did you find those, dude?"
Stood them
It
on
was
myself.
oh, yeah. I mean, like, there's just people out there that just still are like, tiger. I mean,
I mean,
dude,
he had like
he had everything. He
those
had everything.
clothes
He had
were
the $1,000 bag. He had the $1,000 freaking,
vessel. Oh my gosh. I mean,
vessel bag.
dude, okay, hear me out. It might not be different, might be different for you because you actually are a lot better at golf than me. But like I like and this is how I am. Obviously, I like matching. I like looking good on the golf course. That's half it. Regardless what sport I play, baseball, basketball, football, what look good, feel good, play good, right?
Yeah.
Downside is when I started to look good on the course, I was like, dude, I actually look really good. Obviously, not just tooting my own horn, but if I can't back this up, I'm gonna look like a total douchebag. You know, if I'm out here like shoot like 97, 100, like with like the Nike Roche G Tours, you know, I got the Nike shorts, I got the Nike polo, I got the Nike hat, all my clubs are matching, and I come out here just shake my shots. I'm gonna feel me personally, I'm just gonna feel like such a poser, dude. Like you're such a poser. Like you think you're looking good is gonna make you good at golf. You suck. Like that's
You
just
can't
me, the
even
imposter
ollie.
syndrome.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I think that ship has sailed, right? I mean,
yeah,
golf has always been a game of money, right? So it's
oh
like
yeah,
if you if you
status.
it, well, yeah, exactly, of status, there you go. If you play decently well, right? Like if you're just a guy who can drive for show, you're gonna attract a lot of people. But if you can put together a good hole and just make pars, make a few birdies here and there, like, you know, it's great. It's a conversation starter, right? And it's
Yeah,
like for me when I got into sales, like golf was just the one thing that everybody did. And
mm,
I was fortunate enough to have the reps of being in a pro shop, being on a tour van, like doing all that stuff and kind of knowing the ins and outs of the game to where it was like, yeah, my bag, I had all the best stuff,
mhm,
but
mhm.
I didn't pay a dime for it. But
That's the
I
best
did
part.
spend the money on the clothes, right? I
Yeah,
spent the money on the
yeah, right.
clothes.
And
So
if you did, and if you had to pay for both, you wouldn't have been able to probably, right? It's
yeah,
either one or the
yeah,
other. You're just
exactly.
lucky that you worked and got your
Not
club for
in
free.
Dude,
You
not in
know?
my early 20s, no way, man.
Yeah,
It would have
right,
been
dude.
like,
Golf is so freaking
yeah.
expensive, man.
So
Ugh,
so now I'm like, cool. Now I can actually put together some
right?
rounds, and
Ah,
you know, I mean, the fact that I hit the ball a country mile still is like, dude, I've never. The ball sounds so different off
you
the
hit
face.
ball
I'm like,
so far.
yeah,
Remember
like that lady on the first tee. Oh wow, nice
Julio
drive.
first hole like skulls the ball, like gets like 5 feet off the ground, and
No,
she's
I didn't
like,
skull it. I played it exactly how I
"Oh,
wanted. It
you
was
did?
perfect.
Did you really?"
I look at where the ball set up in my feet. I played it down so I could flight it.
Well, dude, okay, to me, I thought you thinned it, and I thought she was just like just impressed just because it just went far, and I'm just like,
Did you realize that ball was so on target I even hit the fucking
"You hit the
stick?
stake." I didn't even realize that. I was like, "Dang it, we could have had a better hole, better read." Gosh, man, he hit the stake and came back.
Yeah.
But man, I do have one thing I want to mention though. After 11 weeks of waiting, today I was able to finally get my hands on this bad boy. It finally came in.
There you go.
Oh, dude, and look at this. 63 degrees. This is what 60 degrees looks like. How trippy is that?
Wow. That was pretty trippy.
Like
That's
it's
that's like
wild. I
Golo. Did you
it's what?
upgrade the shaft? What shaft do you have in there?
I
Is
got
it
the
just the Acura
Acura.
one?
Acura. It's a
Yeah.
$100 upgrade or whatever. And
Just got LA golf shaft, dude.
well, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just get it put in. Like they have their
I know they weld it in there.
they do their own thing. But I mean, like it was wild. So I went to the range today and I was like, yo, Brandon, like, what's going on? Like, this is going on week 11 now of me waiting. And I've been on the Reddit pages of Lab, like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, I got mine, I ordered it in the state. Anyone else got theirs? And some people are like, I got mine. I'm like, what the heck? And like, oh, if you have like a second party web or third party, like you get it from Dick's and they order it through Dick's, or you order for the mom and pop shop or whatever, like a Roger Dunn, well, then you're not getting first dibs. If you order it through their website, they'll get it to you quicker. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, yeah, I maybe saved
Motherfucker.
$200-300, but like, I gotta wait like 4 or 5 weeks extra for this thing. So I was talking to
Yeah.
Brandon, and he's like, yeah, dude, I don't know, I can't even get on the account anymore. I'm like, what are you talking
Oh
about?
shit.
He's like, I don't know. I don't have access. It says I don't have access to it. And I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, I don't have access, but I have an account. And they're like, okay, well, we'll talk to you tomorrow about it. He's like, okay. And so I was like, all right. Well, so I went in to go get some range balls, and he like, I'm just messing with you. I got your putter right here. Came in literally an hour ago. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, seriously though, I don't have access to my account for whatever reason. And I don't know why, but it came like an hour ago, and he was like, I put it in my hands, and I'm like, no, I can't do this. The hands are way too low, man. Because he's waiting on the same one, the Oz one eye, one eye, but with the arm lock. So it's like 79, 80 degrees. So it's going to be totally different. And I hit maybe like 15, 20 putts with it out there at Dragonfly on their putting green, dude. It does look a little weird because I have the 2-degree shaft lean or whatever, like the whatever they call it. What do they call it? Lean? The press, 2-degree press,
Uh-huh.
on there. But every single putt that I rolled was in the middle, and the ball rolled so smooth. Like, it was inconsistent with my Scotty based off of just user error, obviously. And this helps the user error, because it also has the press. And normally you have to like put your hands forward for the press, and by doing that, it could be inconsistent. I cannot wait to keep playing with this thing, dude. I am so freaking stoked. It looks and feels amazing, and it's so much lighter compared to
It is.
the Scotty. And if
The
anyone's looking
Scotty.
for a Scotty Cameron Phantom 5.5 with a $300 shaft in it, hit me up. It's already on eBay. It's already on Golf Classified. Trying to sell that puppy so I can help out our next videos. I'm going to get some microphones as well, so Julio doesn't have to bring his if he forgets or doesn't need to. Make it a little bit easier for us. But dude, now I'm just waiting on the irons, and I am set. I'm just waiting on those irons. Cannot wait.
So yeah, dude, I'm kind of bummed that like I'm just not liking the Avodas. And I think it's just the distance, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think all I need is pitching wedge through 6 iron because
Yeah.
they're just so deep. But I mean, I feel like I hit the ball. I don't know. My apexes are just they're just it. They just feel way better. But I'm kind of bummed about it. But dude, that putter that Isis bought me for Christmas is like
You were rolling.
literally the
Though.
just well. And so
You
here's the
were
other
rolling.
thing is like on Tuesday, I went out later in the afternoon. I played and I was playing with my buddies, and it was like I I I just had like a moment of like an epiphany where it was like, you know, if I just dialed it back just a little bit more and didn't really try and go after a lot of stuff, with the way that I'm rolling my putter right now, with the confidence over it, like I could easily be shooting 68 like it's no big deal, you know? And I like kind of said it out loud, and my buddy was like, "You're totally right," but he's like, "Dude, it's like he's like your best club in your bag, right? Is your driver." He's like, "You can work that thing both ways, but then also when you get up to the green, he's like, you don't even hit a 58 degree. He's like, you take your 54 and you manipulate that thing
Right.
so well. It's just like now that you have a putter in your hand that you're able to roll consistently, he's like, I think that's what saves you is just you get up there and it's a one putt, or you get on in two and you just barely lip it for a birdie, and now you're walking with another par. I'm just like, I don't want the pars anymore. Like I want these things to
I'm
fall
sick of
just
this. I'm so sick of these bars. Ah, ah.
yeah.
I hear
But
you.
yeah, man, it's nice. I mean, it's just like again, I've been telling you this for 3 years now. I just everything in my bag. I'm happy with. I don't need
I know you
anything.
don't. When you don't need it, that's great, because then it's kind of
Yeah.
like I had this meme that went viral on Reddit, and it was just like back in the day, 2K20, NBA 2K20. The grind to make your player usable online took like forever when the game first came out. Like it took forever, and people were like complaining, like, "Dude, I'm playing like 20 games to get like one overall better. Like, well, this is not fun. It's not supposed to be this hard." And then I made this meme where it's like kind of like I took it from South Park, and it was like what was it, the World of Warcraft, where they're grinding for like weeks and weeks to finally beat this dude, right? They're working their butt off, and they finally beat this
They're
guy.
all shit. I
Right.
remember that episode because they're all taking
Yep.
dumps in the
Bathroom, mom, bathroom. But no, so they finally beat this guy, right? And they're like, now what do we do? It's like, what do you mean? It's like, now we can actually play the game. Like we took months and months and months, like finally, like that's the ultimate goal. Like when it comes to golf, besides of course getting your swing down, but that'll always fluctuate. It's like having the clubs that you feel the most confident with, like, and your distances to a tee. That's huge because if you don't know your distances, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to play that well. And I agree with you in terms of the Vodas. I hit them really far, like farther than normal, like what I would with my T100s and what I hit with my, I think they're tailor-made rocket blades, rocket balls, whatever. I don't even know what they were called. But anyway, those irons, like I hit them maybe like 20 yards farther, like with the same degree. Like nothing changed, it's the same degree. And that's great. But when I get closer, I don't like that. I'm honestly thinking right now, I might need an extra wedge in my bag to give myself 5 wedges, get rid of my 4-iron that I'm going to have, give myself 5 wedges, go like 49 degrees, 52, 55, and 58, just to give me more variance. Because I'm not like you where I'm comfortable enough to open the face, close the face. I don't have enough practice time to do that. I'm fine with working on a full swing and working on it that way. But if I can add another wedge to the bag to give me another thing, because I only have 3 wedges and it's like 50, 54, 58, but it goes 115, 130, 150. I'm like, that's insane. Like, I want something that I can swing that might get me like 100 or give me a little bit more loft or something. But we'll see. We'll see. Just need to practice a little more.
Dude, that's why I keep the 64 round. I mean, the few rounds that I did play with the Avodas, it was like, okay, I'm going to take out the pitching wedge because I already have a 50 degree. Like, I'm not going to need a pitching wedge. I'm not going to be needing it from 165. That's my 9-iron.
Yeah.
Right. So I took that out for a little while and just was like 50, 54, 58, 64. And it was my best round with the Avodas that day just because it was like, okay, we're going simple, right?
Yeah.
But it also forced me to freaking, like, when I did have like that 150 number, it was like, all right, we got to go all out on this. We got to catch this just a little bit thin, just so like we make sure we get over the hazard. And that wasn't fun, but I mean, the time that it did pull off the shot properly, it was like it like bits, bounced twice and just. And I was like, yeah, that's sick, dude. Put me on tour. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Julio, it's Tiger Woods. He saw that shot and he wanted to come to the PGA Tour. Have you seen that St. Andre golf shot?
So good. So good.
It's your ex.
I love the one.
It was my fault. It's okay. It's okay.
I forgive you. I missed you. I love the one where he was like, where his wife was like, yeah, I got rid of the card girls and put in golf bros. Like they got Zins on deck, and it's just made my pocket so much bigger.
Dude. Last thing I want to mention before we wrap up this pod. While I was at the range, I'm walking from the putting green to the actual driving range, and there's like that little cart path in between. And this old dude drives past in a cart. This dude I've never seen this before. He had his rangefinder holstered into his belt. I'm like, is that the play now? It's like, what is it? I got you. Like, let's see how quick you can get that thing out and like, what you got?
Okay, so I got one better. So there's a guy who plays 5 days a week, like 6:50 a.m. tee time at Monday through Friday, but he walks all of them, and he has a MacGyvered like holder for his rangefinder, so he doesn't have to take it out every time. He just clips it in, and then he goes and all right, 165, pulls the club out and then hits. But I'm like, dude, that's pretty genius. But
Patent that, bro.
it's the umbrella. It's the umbrella holder. So he jimmied the umbrella holder to basically be like a stability shaft, and then
Right,
he just put
right.
in the little clip and gets his number, pulls the club out. But it's so funny because you can see him walking everywhere, and all of a sudden he just goes like this. He just goes, "Yeah, I got 135 from here."
That is
But that's a good
hilarious,
one.
man.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good spot to wrap up the pod. Again, it was always good golfing with you. Always had a great time. It's going to be awesome if you can come out even more, especially with your grandparents. I mean, that'll not your grandparents, your kids' grandparents, your parents, and try out some other courses out here. Obviously go back to Eagle Springs. That was fun, but definitely be on the lookout within the next week, maybe two. We'll see, depending on what I'm able to get done within the next week. My parents are coming this weekend, so won't be able to do too much. But thank you guys for all your support. I mean, we got a lot of affiliate links down below if you guys are interested in, whether it's Sunday Swagger polos, Sunday Swagger shorts, Primo golf gloves, joggers,
Battle
all that
bars.
jazz. Battle bars, those are pretty bomb.
The
And
whey protein is actually really good.
Oh, you got some of that too?
The
Ooh,
protein
boy.
is actually really, really good.
Ooh.
So,
all right, well, don't forget to stay fly and get swole.
That's right. And guess what? Dad bod 2.0.
Yeah, we need that.
All right.